Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, come on in. Come on, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone, and good evening. Come on a journey with me. Come on, tell your friends. We're about to have some Bible study. It's about to go down. Tell your friends. Come on to the Journey of Faith Bible study. We're about to get started in a few minutes. We'll give some people time to get on board. Hope you've been having a wonderful day. It's the middle of the week. It's hump day. You know what day it is. Come on. It's hump day in a pandemic situation. What kind of day is that? I hope yours is blessed. Mine has been. Well, good evening, everyone. And welcome. I'm an on-time kind of person, so let's do it. It is now 7:01 p.m. and we are about to get started with our evening Bible study from the Journey of Faith United Methodist Church. As you can see, I am not Pastor Goldsmith. He and our first family are on vacation or staycation, and we want them to get some much needed R&R. My name is Bessie Fryer, a willing vessel at the journey, and I'm here to share the good news. Journey of Faith is located at 130 Atascocita Road in Humble, Texas, on the north side. I know you hear me, the north side. And our mission is building faith, providing hope through Christ-centered love. We are continuing our series, My Shout Matters. But before we get started, I want to do some shout outs to my Journey of Faith family. I miss you. Shout out to all of the essential workers at Journey of Faith, the AV team, the music ministry, the trustees, the prayer ministry, the janitorial ministry, the finance ministry, the teachers, and all of you that are tuning in who are essential in kingdom building. Thank you. Our study this evening is coming from Joshua, the 2nd chapter. So this Bible study shout out is to Rahab. Shout out, Rahab. Now let's set the scene. So after 400 years of living in Egypt, wandering in the wilderness, the Israelites are trying to get to the promised land. Now God said to Joshua, now get your Bibles out and read with me. Go to Joshua chapter 1, verse 3. God said, I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country, to the great sea on the west. No one will be able to stand up against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give to them. There you have it. Now you can't just go looking at the land from over here. You got to go over there, Joshua, and put your foot on it. It's yours, but put your foot on it. Step on it. Now Joshua was the successor after Moses in the conquest of Jericho. So like any good leader, Joshua sends 2 spies to check out the land. So here goes the lesson. Let's go to chapter 2 in Joshua. And it reads, follow along with me. Are you with me? Okay, here we go. Then Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. Ooh, this is getting good. Now, why did they stop at the prostitute's house? Why did they stop there? Why would you stop at a den of ill repute? At the harlot's house? Why there? Okay, are you with me? Now turn to chapter 2, verse 15. It says, so she let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of the city wall. Well, there you have it. They stopped there because of location. Rahab's house was at the beginning of the city. Her house was in the city wall. So it was an easy, accessible crib that you could go to where you could get in and out of just in case Jericho's men, in case the king of Jericho sent men to look after them. Okay? Easy in and easy out. Now let's keep going. Turn to your Bibles and let's keep reading. Let's go to verse 2. The king of Jericho was told, look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab. Bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. She said, yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they had come from. At dusk, when it was time to close the gate, the men left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may be able to catch them. Woo, let's take a pregnant pause right there. Rahab told a little white lie. She had a Scooby-Doo moment. Oh, no. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they could be. But if you get up out of here and go try to catch them, then perhaps maybe you'll find them. She wasn't about to let nobody block her blessings, the promises of this land. Okay, let's continue reading. Let's go to verse 6. I'm still in chapter 2, verse 6. But she had taken them up on the roof and hid them under the stalks of flax that she had laid on the floor. So the men set out in pursuit of the spies on the road that leads to the fords of Jordan. As soon as the pursuers had gone out, the gate was shut. So she had put some interference into it. She was like, no, I'm gonna send them on a wild goose chase. They won't find them here. They can look anywhere else, but they won't find them here. Now let's keep going. Verse 8, before the spies lay down for the night, she went up on the roof and said to them, I know that the Lord has given you this land and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted and everyone's courage failed because of you, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family because I've shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my mother, my father, my brothers, and my sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death. Now, there you go. Rahab made a covenant with the spies. She said, now, I've been kind to you, so you need to be kind to me. You need to look after, and she wasn't selfish about it either. She said, not only me, but my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, and all who come from them. So that meant the future generation. She wanted them protected too. Don't you just love Rahab? Now, mind you, this was a prostitute looking out for everybody else. She had a strong faith, but she was standing on God's promises. Now, let's continue. Here's the shout out. In verse 14, it says, our lives for your lives, the men assured her. So they said, okay, you look out for me, we're going to look out for you. And if you don't tell what we're doing, we'll treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land. So she let them down a rope through the window for the house. We know the house that she lived in was part of the city wall. Now she had said to them, now you go to the hills so that the pursuers will not find you. And you hide yourself for 3 days until they return, and then go on your merry way. The men said to her, this oath you made us swear will not be binding on us unless, here's the deal breaker, when we enter the land, you have tied this scarlet cord in the window through which you have let us down. And unless you have brought your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your family in your house. So, in other words, you got to bring them all on the inside. We'll protect them as long as they're in here with you. Now, let's go to 19. If anyone goes outside your house into the street, his blood will be on his own head. We will not be responsible. As for anyone who is in the house with you, his blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on him. So they had their back as long as they stayed in the house with Rahab. But if you tell what we're doing, we will be released from the oath and that you made us swear. So she had to keep her faith. She had to have strong conviction that the promise was going to be kept. She agreed, as stated in verse 21. Agreed, she replied. Let's continue on. Let it be as you say. So she sent them away and they departed. And she tied the scarlet cord in the window. When they left, they went into the hills and stayed there for 3 days until the pursuers had searched all along the road and returned without finding them. Then the 2 men started back down out of the hills and went to Joshua and told them everything that had happened. They said to Joshua, the Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands. All the people are melting in fear because of us. Now, by faith, Rahab believed in the promises of God. What are you doing? Are you sitting on the premises or are you standing on the promises? I'll take a pregnant pause right there just for you. What are you doing? Are you just sitting on the premises or are you standing on the promises? Because of her faith, Rahab is going to be part of an inheritance. Here it is, she went from hooker to heroine, from prostitute to prominence. God uses the least of these, and he will ensure that you will receive his promises. Rahab may have been a woman of the night, but she saved the day. She is going to get the blessings that God has promised. Now, of course, there's more to this story, but that's all the time that I have. I want you to continue to study the word, practice the word. Now that's the word. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Wear your mask and be blessed. Thank you. Bye, Journey.